Hey everyone, what's up? It's Kahoop here. In today's video, we're going to be going over the new changes that Crypto.com just released. So Chris Marszalek, the CEO of Crypto.com, just said that we've been engaging with the community all week about card rewards, and we're making a few more updates based on your feedback. The process has been far from ideal, but it's important to take your feedback into account and deliver an attractive yet balanced offering. So he said that the Ruby Seal cashback is increasing from 0.5% to 1%, which is honestly really good because it's basically just going to go down 1% then from, I'll mention something about the increasing thing. But anyways, it'll be 1% for the Ruby Seal instead of 0.5. 0.5 was terrible. 1% is a lot better, especially since you get Spotify on top of that. There are a lot of other like Bitcoin and crypto debit cards and credit cards that give you around 1% and better, but still it's good that they're buffing it because at least it can beat some cards out there. Anyways, the Jade Green and Royal Indigo cashback is increasing from 1.5 to 2% cashback, which will be a lot better because 2% is pretty competitive with other credit cards and debit cards out there with other crypto companies and stuff. I do like that. For example, the Fold debit card, you can pick a 1% back in Bitcoin or do a spin wheel, which can be less than 1% or, a lot higher. But that's kind of like gambling with variable rewards. And then with BlockFi credit card, it's 1.5%. So the Jade and Indigo are actually better than the BlockFi credit card now instead of equal. Well, actually, I think the BlockFi one was better when the Jade Green was at 1.5. But anyways, now the cashback is better than the BlockFi. It's better than Fold, and it is also equal to the SoFi credit card. Obviously, with the SoFi credit card, that one you cannot withdraw the rewards, but you can buy and sell the rewards and all that. I use my SoFi credit card to earn 2% back in Bitcoin, and it stays in there, kind of like a stock in a sense. You can't move it anywhere. I guess you don't truly own it compared to the cashback on here, where it's instant and it goes right to your account where you can withdraw and all that. But another thing they mentioned is current card rewards will be locked in for 6 months if you restake before June 1st, 2022, and also that they will waive the card upgrade fee $50 until further notice. Now, I have something to say about the current card rewards thing for the locked in for 6 months. So a lot of people were mentioning that they purposely made it when they did their announcement, they basically didn't let anyone restake for another 6 months to keep the better rewards. And some people said that was very shady and very sketchy of Crypto.com. They'd purposely make people not able to restake in time to get a great basically to benefit for another 6 months of the really good rewards. And so they did come out now saying, hey, you know what, we'll actually let everyone who wants to restake or basically unstake and restake, or just actually stake for the better rewards now, then do it now before June 1st so you can get the better rewards. Now, I do like that, but when the way they did it before, it made me wonder if they were financially struggling, because if they don't want people getting the better benefits for even just another 6 months, then I don't know, maybe the debit cards are really screwing them over and they're losing a ton of money on it and they just don't have the money to fund it or something, especially when we're going into a bear market, so there's probably less people buying and selling through the app, and that's how they make a lot of their money. So I don't know. I do like that they're waiving the card upgrade fee, so to try and get more people to upgrade as well, especially from like the Midnight Blue to the Ruby Red, because a lot of people started with the Midnight Blue just to test it, and then they liked it or were fine with it, wanted to upgrade to Ruby Red, and then heard it was $50, and like, okay, well, that's not really worth it, Okay, so I have something to mention now about how he says it's increasing, right? The Ruby Steel cashback, Jade and Indigo cashback is increasing, right? He mentions increasing, but the thing is, they're not increasing. They're still decreasing. They listen to the feedback, and they're increasing from the huge decrease. But, overall, they're not increasing because the Jade Green was 3% and now it's decreasing to 2%. And the Ruby Steel was 2% and now it's decreasing to 1%. But he's trying to make it seem like a positive right here. I'm not trying to FUD, but just the way he's wording it is more like purposely making it seem like, this is good news. I mean, it's good news, but overall it's bad news because for people who want good profits on their debit card, that is. Now, there are many different ways to look at this whole situation. For example, who exactly are the people who stake for the debit cards, and how many of those people, what do they do with their rewards, right? What do they do with their CRO rewards? For example, there's probably some people who stake for the icy white, and then all their cash back, their weekly stake, and all their reimbursements and everything. They might just instantly put that into Bitcoin. So that's a lot of sell pressure on the CRO token, right? They get rewarded CRO and just put it straight into Bitcoin, to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, right? Because for some people, that's the ultimate goal. Even for me, my ultimate goal is to own as much Bitcoin as possible. And of course, I'll use altcoins to do that. So, I could invest in CRO long term, but only if I think it's going to outperform Bitcoin. And so, lowering the rewards would mean less sell pressure on the CRO token, which is kind of ironic considering we can see the price crashing all the way from 47 cents just less than a month ago to down to as low as like 26 cents. Because they reduced the rewards, even though technically speaking it should increase the price of CRO because of the decrease of this. But then again, there's not enough utility, I think, in the CRO token, because when they reduce these rewards of the cashback and all these like interest rates and perks and all that, what happened, and introducing caps of how much cashback rewards you can get, the problem is people don't find the cards as worth it for the stake that's required. So I do think they should reduce the CRO stake needed, because if they're going to reduce the perks, reduce the stake, and then I think everyone might be a bit more happy, because then it can be a little bit more worth it then, because why stake the same amount for less perks? It doesn't make any sense. Overall, that would actually get less people staking for your coin, so less people buying CRO. If you reduce the stake, surprisingly enough, that would actually increase the amount of people buying CRO, or at least balance it out with the reduced rewards. So there's some things that they could do that they're not. They are increasing some things, but overall they're still decreasing. Midnight Blue is going to be 0%. The Ruby Steel is going to be 1%. The Jade Green and Royal Indigo is going to be 2%. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, and then up to 3, and then 5. So there's still a big decrease. And it's unfortunate that the Icy White's going down to 3%, because it used to be 4% and they upped it to 5%, and that's going down to 3%. I don't think it's been ever at 3% that I'm aware of. And then, sorry about the sound, that was my computer. I don't know why it's doing that. But then the Obsidian Black, it used to be 5%. It used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and now it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. I do like that they're keeping it even numbers. I was very surprised when I even heard them, because Crypto.com seems to want to simplify things as much as possible. For example, it doesn't really make sense to have the next tier be 10x. Especially from 40,000 to 400,000, going from the Ice White to Obsidian Black is just not worth it overall. I've done the ROI, I've done the math, I've done everything, and it just doesn't make sense to get the Obsidian Black unless you just have that much money out of nowhere, or you were staked for the Icy White at 10 cents on $40,000, and then went up to $1, and then you staked for the Obsidian right then just because you could. But yeah, the Obsidian is just not worth it with the perks you get. There's a 10x required stake, but there's not a 10x in perks or anything like that. Not even a 5x or anything. As you upgrade, from at least the Icy White to the Obsidian Black, the rewards just are trash for how much you have to stake in between these two. But then again, I don't think they did it because of that reason. I think they did it because it's just like move the comma, or add, basically add an extra 0. It just makes it it simplifies it, right? Instead of, imagine this said like $580, and this one said $1,450, and then this one said $12,375, and so on, right? It just would be way more confusing, and it's a lot easier to just say 400, 4,000, 40,000, 400,000. So they did that with the CRO rewards too, right? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with cashback. I assume they did that just because it looks better, it's easier to remember. But then when they upped it to 5%, 8%, I was like, weird. They're going kind of out of their zone of simplifying things. And then now with the reduction, they were going to go out of their zone too with the simplifications of 0.5% interest and 1.5%, which I was very confused on why they did the point things. But it will be better with 1% and 2%. But overall, they're still decreasing the rewards. Some people argue that this was all planned, but who knows if this was planned or not? We don't really know. It's just very weird how this all happened. But so let me give my thoughts and opinions exactly on what I plan on doing and if I think the cards are worth it. Let me show you guys the ROI on the cards right now. So I have it popped over on my Discord right here in my own little private chat. But okay, the Ruby Red is a 10.26 month ROI, right? So it gives you Spotify, $13.99, and then also 1% cash back, so $25 if you spend $2,500 a month. So I did some different estimates. I mainly did $2,500 per month on each card, and then also the Ice White and Obsidian. I did do a $2,500, but I also did a $25,000 because that's the max you can spend on those two debit cards, the Icy White and the Obsidian Black, and that would max out your cash back. Okay, so this Ruby Red is a 10.26 month ROI. That's actually pretty good. It's under 1 year ROI. Obviously, that's if you max out the cash back. With 1% cash back, you might not find it worth it because you may have other cards. For example, I have a BlockFi credit card gives me 1.5% cash back in Bitcoin, and then I also have a SoFi credit card that gives me 2% back in Bitcoin. So so that the Ruby Red might not necessarily be worth it for you to use for the cashback, but it may be worth it for the Spotify for you, which obviously if you only use it for Spotify, then the ROI would be a lot longer. I think like 2.5 years or something, maybe less. Anyways, the Jade Green is almost a 44 month ROI. You get Spotify, Netflix, 2% cashback, and then 4% APY. I said the 2% cashback, I maxed it out. So $2,500 times 2% is $50, and $50 is the cap for the Jade Green, and obviously above the Ruby Red, $25 is the cap per month. And so, the Jade Green is, you can see it's a lot longer. It's basically 4x the amount of months than the Ruby Red. So the ROI takes a lot longer, even with the 4% APY. Now, if you go into the Icy White, it is a 37.8 month ROI, which is a lot better than the Jade Green. Not better than the Ruby Red, but better than the Jade Green. But that's only if you spend $25,000 a month. Otherwise, let's say you spend $2,500 a month, then it is a 104.2 month ROI, which is way worse than the Jade Green. The Icy White gives you Spotify and Netflix and Amazon Prime, 3% cashback and 8% APY. So obviously it does also give you 10% back on Expedia, capped at $50 per month. And you get access to Cryptocom Private and get a welcome package. But the welcome package is a one-time thing. It's not per month or per year. And then Cryptocom Private, there's no really determination of what it's valued at. Just because it's, the perks you get aren't like monthly cashback or perks or anything like monetary value like that. Other than that, the Obsidian Black is a 101.1 month ROI. I did not include the 10% back Expedia or 10% back in Airbnb on ICY or Obsidian or the private jet partnership either, because I think the private jet partnership might be a one-time perk as well. So the Obsidian and Icy White you can see are not that worth it. So the Obsidian is a 101.1 month ROI. Otherwise, that's if you spend $25,000 a month with the 5% cashback with the new rates. Otherwise, it's a 141.2 month ROI, which is not so great. Let me calculate these and see how much it is per year. Obviously, the Ruby Red is under 1 year. Jade Green, let's just do 44 divided by 12. So 3.66 years. So it takes 3.6 years to make to ROI on your Jade Green. Now on the Icy White, if we do 30, let's just do 38 month and divide that by 12. So also 3.16, so around the same, 3.16 year ROI. That's if you max it out. If you do not max it out, then 104 month ROI. Let's see what that is. That is an 8.66 year ROI, so a little over 8 year ROI on the Icy White. So that's not too great. And now the Obsidian Black is 101. Let's divide that by 12. That's an 8.41 year ROI, so a little over 8 years. Not worth it so much. Now, if we do 141 divided by 12, that's 11.75 years. So pretty close to 12-year ROI on the Obsidian Black if you only spend $2,500 a month. So obviously, as you go up in the higher tiers, the ROI decreases even when you max out the cash back, other than going from the Jade Green to the Icy White. But even going from the Icy White to the Obsidian, when maxing out your cashback, it's the Obsidian ROI is not so much worth it as it just gets worse. So if you were to stake for any of these cards for ROI reasons and profit a ton, then and not care about the CRO token, then and just you wanted to cash in the CRO token as much as possible into like Bitcoin or USD coin, then it seems that the Ruby Red to Jade Green are going to be your best bet. Probably the Ruby Red, maybe the Jade Green, and for the Icy White, only if you're going to max out the cashback. So the Obsidian, not worth it though. So yeah, I think the Ruby Red is definitely worth it. I think the Jade Green could possibly be worth it. And then the Icy White, only worth it if you max out the cashback. Obsidian, not worth it no matter what. That's my opinions on that. Now, obviously, if you're bullish on CRO token overall, then these benefits are kind of just an added plus. Some people, aren't looking for ROI necessarily. They're just investing into CRO token as an investment. So for example, if like investing in Bitcoin, right? They might invest in CRO token the same way someone invests in Bitcoin, meaning that they don't care whether they get perks or not. The perks are just kind of an extra added value. So yeah, now that I got that over with, let me go into what I plan on doing with all my CRO and how much it's worth currently, and just all of that. All right, let's get started on that. So I am currently staking for the Jade Green debit card. I have the physical Icy White, but I am staking for the Jade Green. Now that they upped the cashback to 2%, I think I will keep my debit card stake. I might as well. It's under $4,000 right now for my card stake, so I don't see the point in selling it off. I can just hold it on and see what happens with the CRO token and Crypto.com. Maybe they'll do another reversal. They've been through terrible situations in the past with the MCO swap, lowering interest rates on the card stakes and then crypto earn on the CRO token, and on a overnight, on a sudden's notice or whatever it's called. And so they've done a lot where people felt like Crypto.com screwed them over, and yet here they are, and the token just keeps improving and reaching new all-time highs. As it seems that old customers leave, new customers come in, and they don't do their research on the past, and it props up the price because and then the Crypto.com repeats their mistakes, and then the token price goes back down, and then all these new people who are now considered old people will leave, and then they'll get even more new people, and then the token price will go back up even higher. So it is how it is. So I might as well keep my debit card stake because they've done this so many times, and yet the token survives, the company survives, and it just reaches new all-time highs. I mean, I don't understand it, but it works. That's been their strategy, and it's always worked in the past. Now, I do think I'm a little overexposed to CRO token, as I think I'm still in profit. Let me do the math right now and get back to you on how much Bitcoin I invested into this CRO token, and then what my CRO or Chronos token is worth currently, and how much I'm up in like Bitcoin and fiat terms. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this is what I got. So I invested 0.121 Bitcoin into CRO for the Jade Green. So currently that would be worth $4,400 in Bitcoin terms. So if CRO stayed exactly where it was when I invested, then I'd be down $400, but that's not the case. CRO is actually up from when I invested. So I have 27,924 CRO in the DeFi wallet that's staking on chain for the 12% interest. Now I already undelegated or unbonded, whatever you want to call it. So I have like 25 or 24 days left until I can actually do anything with it, such as sell it or something. And that it currently is worth 0.219 BTC. Let me show you the prices I'm basing that off of. So that's basing it off of $36,336.59 for Bitcoin and 0.28 cents, 285072 on CRO token. So that's what I'm basing it off for my math currently, these prices. And so yeah, on the DeFi wallet that's staked on chain, I have almost a quarter of a Bitcoin, pretty close to it. If CRO went up a bit more, I'd have a quarter. But anyways, I also have 9,807 CRO that's staked in the app for the Jade Green. Now it's a little bit less, but I just have some spare CRO in the app as well, which I'll probably end up just keeping, especially if I plan on selling my DeFi wallet Crow, but let me get to that in a second. So yeah, in the app for my Jade Green, it is worth 0.0769 Bitcoin, which in total I have overall 0.29606 Bitcoin in the Chronos token. So I do have over a quarter of a Bitcoin, almost a third of a Bitcoin, right? Because it's almost 0.33, pretty close. And so that's quite a bit of Bitcoin in the CRO token as a centralized token pretty much, because even with Chronos chain, it's so new to where the token price is still affected with debit card changes, which is a centralized choice, right? Crypto.com chooses that, So it's definitely not fully decentralized. It's not like anyone who owns CRO gets to vote on like the card stake changes of their earn rewards or anything like that. So yeah, overall, my CRO is worth, I have 37,731 CRO, which is worth 10,754 US dollars as of right now. So if I take my DeFi wallet profit, if I just sell all my CRO that's on the DeFi wallet, I will be selling 0.219 BTC. And then, of course, I would minus my initial investment, 0.121 Bitcoin, which would then give me a 0.098 Bitcoin profit. Which this in profit, basically how much money would I make in profit? I'm saying profit a lot. That's funny. Anyways, how much I would make is $3,562 that I wouldn't have otherwise, which is honestly really good in my opinion. Not the greatest for when it comes to like crypto and stuff, especially with the bull run and all that. I could have definitely done better, but this is my first bull run ever that I've been through. I started crypto in 2019 when Bitcoin was fluctuating around 6,000. When I remember it going up to 13,000 in the summer, very shortly of 2019. Then it dropped back down to 10,000. And ever since then, I mean, the last time it even dropped below 10,000 was COVID, and then that went down to $5,000, and that's the last time I ever saw Bitcoin that cheap. But yeah, I've been in crypto ever since 2019, and I did not join in the 2017 or 2016 bull run. A lot of people did though. It's kind of funny. A lot of people don't join during the bear market, but I was one of those people who did because I didn't just follow the flock or the sheep or the herd or anything. I was just interested in it because I've always my dad's talked about it in the past, making fun of it. He's invested now and has made a lot of money because I got him to invest in Bitcoin finally after watching a few documentaries and answering his questions about it and everything. And so him and I are up a lot on our Bitcoin and everything. But anyways, my next bull run, I hope it'll be a lot better. I plan to do a lot better on crypto mining and picking good altcoins and everything now that I know how a bull run works. So in 2024 or 2025, when the next bull run, the next Bitcoin halving, 6 months after the next Bitcoin halving, that's when it's going to start. So I can prepare then. I would be making $3,562 on my investment, on my CRO investment, that is. And that would allow me to also keep staking for the Jade Green too. That would just be if I just sold off all my CRO on the DeFi wallet. So it's not like it would sell off all my CRO. So I'd still technically have like a moon bag, and I would obviously keep getting my free Spotify and Netflix. I would just keep that in CRO, to be honest, just to see what it does. And also obviously I'd be getting the 4% APY. I'd keep that in CRO as well. And with 2% cashback, I actually might use the card here and there too for cashback reasons. And that I think that's really it. That only the perks are going to be worth it are that because even though you get an extra 2% interest in crypto earn when you have the Jade Green compared to the Ruby Red or below, crypto earn is not worth it even when you have the Jade or the Icy White. So it's just not worth it in that form. So yeah, and the reason I say this is good profits, if the thing is, I still have like 20 something days, right, until my DeFi wallet unstakes. So Bitcoin could shoot up from here and CRO could stay where it's at. Bitcoin could tank a little more and CRO could tank even harder, or I don't know. We don't know where the prices are going to go, right? But if they stay where they're at right now, I'll make a good profit. And how I determine if this is a good profit for me is that I am personally investing $50 a week into Bitcoin with Swan Bitcoin. So that's $200 a month into Bitcoin. And so you times that by 12. So $200 times 12, that's $2,400 a year into Bitcoin. So by doing this altcoin investment and selling off at this profit, that would be, one second, I don't know why I already forgot. Oh, okay, minus 2,400. That would be a $1,161 gain in Bitcoin that I would have not invested during the year if I simply just stuck to fiat and didn't do any crypto trades. So that is almost like, let's see, 2,400 minus 1,000, what is it, 161. So that like half, I meant to do a divide, one second, 2,400 divide by 1,161. So yeah, that's like half or whatever. So that's like 6 months free of my investment. So that's pretty good to get 6 months free worth of Bitcoin. When I'm, so yeah. Anyways, I'm starting to ramble, and I don't know if this video is even making any sense at this point. So I'm going to end it here. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more future content, and I'll see you all at my next video.